Here are 5 things that I think you need to know about before you start your freight brokerage. Number 1, how much reserve do I need to start my business? Well, if you're established, you can just move your freight agency to a new place. But let's say you're new or you're transferring from a W-2, a full-blown freight agent, and you want to make sure that you are not pressured to pay bills, those sorts of things. So I recommend having at least 6 months of reserve. And that might be overkill, but I'd rather be safe and know that you don't have the pressure of taking on bad business that's going to actually cost you money and distract you from actually pursuing the customers that you want to go after. So have 6 months of reserve. That's your house payment, all your monthly bills. And if you need to pay yourself, you need to have that saved up before you actually take that first step. The second thing that I think you must have before you start being a freight agent is, what is my why? Why am I doing this business? Is it just because I heard people can make a lot of money? Well, some people can, but that's not for everybody, right? So you have to match it with your why. It's, do I want freedom? Do I want to work for myself? What exactly is that? Because if you don't define that, when you have those hard moments, you're going to kind of be lost. And so you have to make sure, what is my why? And what do I want to do this? For me, it could be family time. It could be I want to set my own schedule. Well, that looks different for everybody. So establish your why, write it down, and define it so that you can refer back to it. Number 3, what does success look like? Often I hear, oh, I want to make a lot of money. I want free time. Well, that's different for everybody. So define exactly what that means for you. What does success look like for me is going to be different for you. Maybe it's I want to make X amount of dollars. Okay, that's great. Write it down. Maybe I want to be able to work from anywhere. Great. Write it down. What does that look like? I want to be able to support my family. Okay, great. What does that look like? You see a theme here. Write it down so that you can refer back to it and make sure that what you're doing is actually pushing you towards your goals and making that happen. Number 4 on my list today is master objection handling. It's going to happen, right? In a good market, bad market, you're going to get objections from customers. They don't have the time, they're not adding new people on, blah, 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 whatever, right? So know what your response is going to be, because you're going to get them. And so you have to maybe reframe that. Okay, I hear what you're saying is you're not adding brokers on. Could you explain to me why? Or I hear that you don't have the time. What can I do to help you make this process easier? Maybe you could connect me with your accounting team or your onboarding team, and I can handle all that and remove it off of your plate. And maybe it's, I don't have any freight. It's like, okay, what's your toughest lane? Give me, if you get that order or that email in your inbox and you just go, I got to deal with this. What is that? Help me so that I can maybe I can move that for you. And if I can, and I'm successful, would you give me a shot? So understand how to objection handle is so critical in this business because it happens repeatedly. Number 5 on my list is very similar to 4, but it's how do I frame rejection? Because it's going to happen, and it's right here in between your ears, and how you phrase that and how you frame that for you, for your own personal well-being, your mental health. Because if I take it personally, like, oh, they don't like me, and that starts to come through, I'm just going to struggle even more. So how do I frame it? For me, it's, hey, I'm that much closer to my next yes. Every no, I'm closer. Every no, I'm closer, right? So just understand, how do I frame rejection and make a game out of it? Maybe it's, hey, I want to get 10 no's because I know I'm that much closer to my next yes. So how to frame rejection is so critical for success in this business. All right, let's recap. Top 5 list. Number 1, have at least 6 months of financial reserve. Number 2, why do I want to do this business? What is my why? Clearly define that, write it down so that you can refer back to it in those tough times. Number 3 for me is, what does success look like? Because success for me might be different from you and for every individual person, right? So if you don't have that written down, you don't know what it is. So write it down. What does success look like? Number 4, master objection handling. It's going to happen even on every call. It's going to happen, right? Because they don't want to be on the phone with you. So you have to understand how to get them to the next step. You're not trying to sell them in step 1, like, hey, give me your freight. It's, how do I get them to the next step of my sales funnel? So master objection handling, not to make the sale, but to get to that next step so that you can walk them through. And then when they come out the bottom of the funnel, everything is dialed. So number 4, master objection handling. Number 5 on this list, how to frame rejection. You have to understand mentally, what does it look like for you? Because it's going to be, again, different for everybody. For me, I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to gamify it. If I get 10 no's, I'm that much closer to yes. So number 5, how to frame rejection.